And cam. Hello. Probably only YouTube watchers are watching, although I suppose maybe somebody will stumble upon it on uh, Rumble. So yeah, now I am dual streaming via Restream to both, Big Red and Mean Green, which I've already said the name to, but I'm gonna get them in the habit of not actually saying their names. Big Red with the big red play button, and Big Mean Green with the mean green play button video site. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, of course, I'm a little bit late, like kind of like I always am. Anybody watching or listening on Big Red knows this already. Uh, but I tend to be late anyways. But today I kind of have a legitimate reason, mainly because Restream now requires that I kind of edit things. Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna have to. Here, let's do that right now. Um, Let me show you what I. Well, I don't know if I'll show you what I mean. Maybe I should show you what I mean. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. Uh, no, I won't do that just yet. No, instead I am going to do the thing where I post the links. So dev stream 64. Today we start loading JSON files. And then, of course, there is this one, copy, and wait a second, what? Oh, what am I thinking? Of course, um, that's okay. You'll see in a second what I'm doing here. Uh, there's that. There's one of the tubes, and there is also the other tube. Now its file name is actually, or the URL in Mean Green is a little bit different. So it actually has some residual. See. Okay, so what I did previously was I had both my edit stream and my game dev stream text in um, within OBS. I actually had it because you have a thing where you set up stream, but that only happens in like version 30, or I don't know exactly when it happened, but since I got rid of that because of the problems I was having with it, and I installed the package version of OBS, which is version 29 point something. Now it doesn't do the manage; it just says start stream, so I have to use that, and then so what I would do is I would put both the edit stream text and the game dev stream text into the settings in OBS, and so then it would send it to YouTube. And when YouTube came up, it I would have to go and manually edit it on YouTube and like remove either the editing or the game dev stream, and that was a way for me to keep it. Um, that was a way for me to make sure I was up to date in my numbering and stuff. Like today I'm on 64, and previously it was 63, and that was the text that I copied from. So that's why Rumble's URL is actually says 63 and then editing blah blah blah. Uh, and so I'm looking, and Rumble doesn't have quite as many characters for their description. So part of it is cut off, and so what I'm thinking of doing, of course, is unless it's stripping something off. But so what I'm gonna do later is I'm gonna put this text into like a text file, then just pull up the one that I want to use, and and or modify, and then save it, and then when I get ready to put them on to the streams, then I'll copy them then. But so so even though the name of the stream is actually correct, the URL is just a little bit off here. So anyways, let me finish here just a second. Dev stream. Okay. Control C. Okay. Let's just go ahead. And actually, I need to see if I can do it some other way. You know what? I'm gonna try something here. Something. Shift Enter. That doesn't work. Okay. All right. All right. So I have the two streams and the two URLs. Okay, that'll work. That's just fine. Okay, let's do this. So now that I have two deals, so now I got both YouTube and Rumble. Okay. I don't know if any of these people that I ever talk to ever go to Rumble, but I wonder if that's interesting. Part of the text is gone from the little badge on. Oh, you wouldn't be able to see this anyways. It's I'm using this TV as my second monitor, and the little badge that says Scepter, which is the brand of the TV, cheapo brand of this little TV. Some parts of the letters are gone. Why? Because the badge is just like these little stickers, little silver stickers, and apparently they come off, and where part of the letters were. And I almost took another part off. Okay. Yeah, that's funny. So part of this is removed, and so now it looks like some alien language or something. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Okay. So what do I want to do next? What I want to do next is, oh yeah, I need to post in on AfterNet. So I post on in IRC. I post on in Libera.chat IRC network, um, where I post in Blender, because obviously I'm using Blender a little bit right now just for editing, but later on I'll be using it for some 3D stuff. Then there's game designers with some of my online friends there and game designers, and then game dev on Libera.chat, and then on AfterNet there's its game dev channel, and then it's pronounced Ludum Dare, I think, um, like proper Latin pronunciation, but sometimes I call it Ludum Dare, just because it's just the way it looks to me. Anyway, so I post to IRC, and then I post to Discord, and okay, there we go. There's the Discord. So that's why I have it just on webcam right now. So pardon me for a few minutes. You know, once I get this kind of down, because I used Restream once last night just to test it out, but that was my first time using. I'm still on my camera, right? Yeah. Um, so yeah, I only messed with Restream last night for the first time, and now I'm actually doing it for a where's the dang thing? You know the thing. Freebies and giveaways. Party Club is free tomorrow on Steam. A fun cat game that can be played with up to 4 friends. Okay, that's fine. I don't know if you got Steam. There's something called Party Club that's free right now. It looks like a Russian description here, so I can't read that, but whatever. Anyways, Okay, so I gotta post these links here on the Discord, and then I also do it on 3 different communities on X. So bear with me. I guess I'll officially start at 12:30, whatever. But I'm trying to be on time, but it kind of takes me a while to get things going properly. So let's go ahead and post this. I don't know if it's going to show thumbnails for each. Actually, for this, I can do a shift enter like so, shift enter, and big red, and then we can call this one mean green. Yeah. Oh, I should have formatted that properly. Copy. I don't know what thumbnail, if any, is going to pop up. Maybe usually a thumbnail pops up. It's not popping up now because I guess because I got 2 links in the text here. So stream share. Okay, let's go ahead and just a moment. Big red and mean green. Yeah, I mean I've already said YouTube and Rumble on the stream. I just don't want to do it too much, just so it doesn't anger somebody, maybe. uh, so yeah, YouTube of course is Big Red, and Mean Green of course is Rumble. Okay, so let's go ahead. Actually, let's copy this text. Copy, and let's go ahead and enter in that text I just did. And it's showing the YouTube. It's not showing the Rumble. I mean that's kind of okay, I guess, because YouTube is still kind of my primary right now until things start like going right. Okay, I could do separate posts, I think, if I wanted to, but we're gonna do this right now this ways, and that way, yeah. See, it's showing the YouTube link and newtonsoft.json. That's just a one-liner. Newtonsoft.json. Uh, Lunatic. Okay, so I posted this in Stream Share on Greg and me's Discord, and Lunatic Edit is telling me something about Newtonsoft. It's just a one-liner. JSON convert my type file content. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Um. Okay, so um, Lunatic Edit. I don't know if you're actually in watching right now on YouTube, probably on YouTube, but possibly on Rumble. But I gotta finish posting my link to each of the Discords that I post this in. So if you're watching, I'll be back in just a second. I'm almost done here. Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess we'll start. I guess I'll start actually working on code here at 12:30. So just sit tight if you're already watching. So that's why I'm looking down at my screen. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay. Paste. I might do these separately in on the Discord so that they can have the full thumbnail of each, because most of these actually post a full thumbnail. Let's see, self promotion. Potato melon. I'm not typically self promo, but gosh dang, I love this game. Watermelon. Looks interesting. Anyways, I wonder if I can hear the sound from both Rumble and YouTube on my headphones. I don't have my headphones in there just right yet. But, 23 messages and Redot discussion. Redot. Sounds like the coffee maker's done. And I thought I turned it off. Unless, unless Dad made another pot, which he could have. But I think he's laying down, so I don't know what the beeping's from. Okay. So, okay, I got all of them in there. Now I need to go to, um, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go to X last. At something called Your Streaming Community. I know it's not on your screen right now because I'm put it on webcam on purpose right now. Not that you actually want to see my face, but you know, let's write something. Dev stream 64. 64. Paste. Post. Paste and post. Okay, good. And then dev streams. I have a dev streams thread on the Redot subreddit because I can't find any other subreddit that will just allow me to self-promote my streams. And I figure that I'll be doing this for a while. Save. I'll be posting the links everywhere that I can post for a little while until it gets enough of a following that until it gets enough of a following that that I don't need to quite do it so much anymore. The video disc, yeah, the CED video disc is really cool. Give me a second, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Get some of these like spammy X accounts saying they liked my reply, even though they probably never even looked at my reply. And usually, I'll block them unless they actually have a real like a real X account, a real X account. A lot of these ones do not. And I have some other kind of account in there which shall remain nameless, which I don't know why I'm getting them, but whatever. Maybe I clicked on something that did it. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go. Where's my notifications here? All right. Okay. Close that. And this is an actual person. And this is websites for humans. Okay. I don't even really mind that much kind of spammy deals, but there's certain kinds of X accounts that I do not want showing up on my timeline. Really, it might not stop others from seeing it or whatever, but I'm blocking it on my. Anyways, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. We need to get back to the thing at hand here. And so indie games and point and click adventures and Redot engine. And I'm also a member of the traditional animation community on X, but I don't feel like I can post anything there right now, mainly because I'm not actually doing any animation at this point, and I will be. It'll be hand-drawn animation, at least for the sprites, anyways. Boom. Okay, let me do the post here. Post. Okay. And then I need to paste this. Now I'm on both Big Red and Mean Green. and care for one over the other. Okay, post that. Post. Actually, it's funny because in the Discord, the first link is the URL that came with an image, and um, and in on X, it's the second link, so it's the Rumble link. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, that's all right, I guess. Point and click adventures. Oh, I see. Yep, 64. Uh, it seems like I'm the only one posting in the point and click adventures. It looks like. I do get a little bit of okay engagement. There's only 310 members in it, and my last one got up to 88. Actually, DevStream 61 uh, came up with 681 interactions on point and click adventures community, so that's pretty good. Let's post. We're gonna paste, and now on YouTube and Rumble. Okay. Post. I think more people that ever come on during X will actually be going to Rumble now, just because of the way it's showing it. I could hit the X, I guess. Maybe I should hit paste, and then what if I hit X on paste? It's gonna hide that image, right? Now on both. YouTube and Rumble. Okay. Post. And so now because I hit the X on... Oh, this will give me a good chance to do something here. Let's do an edit. Let's see if I can edit. I can edit the post. Edit function limited to original post, doesn't include things like replies or threads. Should be replies and threads as well, but that's kind of okay, I guess. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the image. And why isn't it doing that for me? Okay. Oh, you chuckleheads. Do it like this. There we go. And update. Oh, weird. Very weird. It's still showing it. It's still showing my old one on the timeline after I update. Oh, okay. It didn't. What it did is it added it and then it removed it. Okay. Let's go ahead and see if I can edit this one. Edit. Yeah, I know you can still can't see it. Just bear with me, please. Got it. Let's do some here. Do. And that way I can just exit that and I can still update. Update. Awesome. Okay, good. Actually, I like that. That's good. Very good. Okay. Just give me... Well, it's already 12:30, so it should already be starting here. But give me just 1 second more and I will be on it. Okay. Oh, yeah. And I won't even say... Like I'm getting a couple of like spammy, but they're actual X accounts that someone or somewhere something is actually posting stuff to it. And like I said, I don't mind the spammy accounts per se. It's just there's certain kinds of accounts, if you know what I mean, that that I don't want on there. So let's just go to my notifications directly. Let's leave it like that. And here, let's see if this works. I don't know if this is gonna go directly to, but let's see here. That now it should be on desktop. So and it is good. My hot scenes. See, basically, I had I like I said, I had OBS version 30.2.3, I think it was. Point 3.2, I can't remember. Version 30 point something. And then whenever I click on something that would access the browser to upload a file, that would pull up a file browser, it would always crash OBS. I have no clue why. I actually used Grok to help me, but we kept on going in circles and circles, and it kept screwing stuff up. And finally, I got to installing the package version of OBS that comes with, or that works on. I have a Linux Mint Debian Edition, or LMDE 6, which is basically Debian-based Linux Mint instead of being based off of Ubuntu or Ubuntu. I don't know how you pronounce it, but so basically, I was having this word problems, and I said, you know what? Let's just install let's just install OBS 29 package edition. It's not that old and it works. And I'm looking at it, and yeah, it's even a little different than version 30 because now they have things on different sides and stuff. But for the most part, it's pretty much what I was doing before. So yeah. Let's see. What do we have for docs? Do we have any docs? Stats. Stats. Okay, that's not all right. Um. Okay, let's see what else docs do we have on here. Scene transitions, stats, controls. Okay, that's fine. Before we had this YouTube panel here in OBS, but that's okay. I'll just be kind of observing things via. Um, you know what? This doesn't even matter if it's over here. I think no, that's not right because I still might want to look at it. Let's see if I can resize the. Oh, I guess I can't, huh? That's too bad. Isn't it? Can I put this over in here? Sources and scenes. Okay, we'll do that. And that way I can, maybe I can resize now. And I can. There we go. Now I have a big, kind of a bigger OBS window. Okay, just give me a sec. I am just setting things up here. And, in fact, you can actually watch me do it now. Let's see. This is YouTube. And look, am I? Okay, I just not knew. Hey, Greg. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Um, I've just been doing my like preliminary that I should have done like earlier, but because I'm using Restream now to stream to both Big Red and Mean Green, uh, that it's taking me a little bit longer than even normally. And I know normally I'm usually kind of late and stuff. So, anywho, we're gonna break this out. We're gonna break out that. Let's minimize this for a quick second. I need to put these on to both. There we go. And then I need to shrink them. I need to shrink the window like so, and let's do it like so. And I guess I'll go by. I'll actually go by YouTube. Let's see. Whoop. That's something I might just do later. In fact, let's just close that. Close. Okay. And let's I'm gonna minimize this. So, okay, that'll work. And I don't know how Rumble is, but I don't even expect that many people to come into Rumble. It's gonna be mostly YouTube, but I'm gonna check Rumble occasionally, and I'm gonna try to get into the habit of not saying YouTube and Rumble on the stream anymore because I'm streaming to two different places. Not that it's that big of a deal, but so yeah, let's do that. And let's go ahead and move. Wait a second. Just a sec here, guys. Or guy. The only guy that's probably watching is you, Greg, if you're still in here. Okay. And let me head over to Discord again real quick. Cool. For my info. Oh. Oh, let me hold on a sec. I'm just gonna reply to Lunatic Edit in the Discord. Just give me a quick sec here. I didn't realize what you were doing. Is this GD script or something else? C# since I think you were working with that for your own game. Okay, I'm just asking him something. Okay, so basically what I want to do is let's see here. Let's bring up GitHub Desktop. Oh, did I? I guess I did have some things. That's right. Kind of after hours here. I'll even kind of go through it with anybody that cares to look at it. But so essentially, I changed a few things in the room manager. I put the underscore. Why is that? Oh, I need to hold on. I need to pull up Redot, which is fine anyways because I'm maybe working with some code today. So let's go to dev stuff. Let's go to Redot. Let's start up Redot. And Channellands Phase 1 project. Let's edit that. Room manager. Room manager. Two there. Oh, I see. It didn't squawk because I figured 2 was part of the name. Save it. Save that. Okay, and now let's go into GitHub. And for some reason, I can't get it to use this icon. And yes, I did the startup class thing, and I even did the thing where you, I forget what it's called, but it's a deal where you click on the window and it gives the actual handle, the window handle back. And I tried both things in the window handle. It doesn't work, so I'm stuck with multiple icons. In fact, what I'm thinking about doing is I'm actually thinking about hey, check this out too. The if you can see it here, the redot icon is no longer the icon. Before I could see. Wait, maybe it does it when I run it though. Yeah. Okay. So you get the redot icon when you run it, but not when I do that, which is kind of weird. But whatever. Let's see something here. You know what? Properties. But I can change the icon. And it should actually even be in the redot. Nope, redot's not in there. I means I actually have to download a redot icon, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Redot engine icon. See what pops up. Okay, let's go to GitHub because I think that's where I got GitHub Desktop's own icon. So let's see if I can find out where it's at though. Nope. App icon, maybe. Oh yes, there it is. App icon. Save image as. We're gonna go ahead and put it in dev stuff. So let's go into dev stuff. Let's go to Redot. And let's go ahead and save it. Actually, what do they call it? I call it app icon probably. Cancel. Close. Okay. Actually, let's do this again. Properties. Browse. Dev stuff. Redot. App icon. Select. Close. And so now it is what it. Now let's try something. Since that's the icon, I wonder if it'll show up if I run it. So let's close this, and then let's reopen it. And there you go. Bob's your uncle. Okay, and we're back in here. Redot, reboot, Reddit. Could pronounce it Reddit. I think that would be an insult, though. What do you think? Is Reddit an insult? Anyways, now there's only one watching. Quite all right. What about in here? Nobody watching in here. That's okay. I mean, that's expected, I guess. Anyway, anywho, let's go back. Let's check the Discord again. I forgot to use json parse it is. Yeah, well, Redot actually, but same difference. GD script. Okay. Yeah, I had to squint. Okay, so now everything seems to be kind of going okay. Actually, let me do one more thing. Let's go into. I can actually close this right now for the second. Dev streams. That's not what I want. That's restream is what I want. So restream. See, look at this. Restream is showing the please wait sign. I mean, that's kind of goofy, isn't it? It somehow gets way off of sync, I guess. I mean, and that's not even, but on okay, yeah, that's right. So here, let's actually move that over to here. There we go. And let's actually refresh it because it'll actually resync up over here. And that's correct. Boy, let me see something here. It's making my face look super bright. Does it look super bright for you guys? I mean, is it casting that much light? Really? I mean, maybe I have the gain and stuff too high. Possibly. My face looks like it's glowing. Okay, let me... I mean, it's a little bit better here in YouTube. No, not by much. I'm looking like I'm glowing. That's not what I want. I don't want settings anyways. I want the sources. View display. Let's see something. Let's see if I can bring the gain down a little bit. Well, the exposure time also, but where's the gain? If I bring the gain down, okay. Let's bring that back up. What if I bring the exposure time down? That is really weird. I mean, it's not that weird. I mean, it is a pretty bright. It is a pretty bright screen. I mean, it's all white, so if I switch back to here, I look kind of normal, sort of. But if I'm going over here, like all white screen, oh, I'm glowing. I don't really know what to do about that because I don't have like proper lighting and stuff, and this is like pretty close to my face, so uh, it's doubtful that I would get rid of it altogether. There's one thing that I could do that could help a little bit, but let's see here. Sorry about my messy bed. Now, that did not help a bit, did it? If anything, it made me look super glowy. And then this now is just sort of glowy. Do something here. I'm just doing it once just to see if, how bad it looks. Oh, now you can't hardly see nothing. Now it's kind of dark when I do it. Here, let's put this back over here for temporary. So when I'm don't have now, if I increase the gain, you sure you want to use Redot? Have you seen the Git commit history? No, I have not. Not seen the Git commit history. No. Why? Just give me a sec. Bump version. Yeah, there's okay. Give me a sec here. Um, that's because Godot 4.4 just came out, so they're trying to make sure that Redot is up to version 4.4. Oh, well, I see what you mean because they're not doing a lot. Like, yeah, I don't know about what their plans are or how they're doing stuff. Right now, it's equivalent. Okay, you're probably not watching on the stream, but commits don't concern me much. Yeah, that's fine. Hold on a sec. Here, I'm gonna show you the conversation. Hopefully, Lunatic doesn't get mad at me. But uh, that's because of the drama. Supposedly, there were a few working on Redot that had some trouble with some of the other team members. Much name calling, and then they left. All I know is that this works and I'm using it. Later on, I can switch back to Godot if I want to. Anyways, okay, so, I don't even know that much about the drama. Indeed. But this was something different. Personally, I think the ones that were causing trouble were probably were maybe pro Godot, but they supposedly even did their own work, but I've not looked into it. Okay. Yeah, yeah. All right. So now let me do something here real quick. How's the gain? How's this look? And it's still going smoothly, which is good. And what about exposure time? If I do the exposure time, it really brightens things up. And this kind of looks normal. In fact, one side looks a lot like the other side. I have this lamp, and it's got a lamp pointing upward. In fact, here let's do this for a second. Uh, well, you probably can't see that because it's too bright, but yeah. So there's that, and here you can kind of see it if I, well, not saturation, doggone ya, gain. Let's bring the gain down, and I'm just doing this temporarily. See, and the one on the wall. Now, over here I have an old desk lamp that's kind of broken right now, but the lamp part still works. And so, if I keep the gain up, and it looks like since OBS 29 is doing pretty good, it looks like let's do some here. Let's bring the saturation back up. Not too much, but now it looks like if I pull the gain up a little bit, quite a bit, yeah, and so now the light's even on both sides, and it's going smoothly. Apparently, I don't know if it's not maybe too much and could end up dropping frames or something, but I mean, it looks fine. I think it looks fine. Anywho, let's just put OK over here. I'm gonna leave it like this for a while, and then I don't know. We'll see. If anybody says the picture looks kind of crappy or something, maybe I'll change it back or I'll try to fix it or whatever. Anywho, let's get back to the thing at hand. You know the thing. Okay, so actually I need to pull Grok up. Look, now I'm broadcasting on both Big Red and Mean Green. Okay. And okay, so what I need to do is I need to pull up Grok because I've been actually using Grok quite a bit. Here, let's go to Grok. Let's go to history. Let's go to YouTube auto scroll restreams, sign up, live stream on X. There we go. Channel lands discussion and help. So we go back here. Okay. So the last thing I did was actually I had Grok help me split up the okay, so basically I wrote out the events, so it was my plot outline. So I wrote out all the events. In fact, here let's just do a little. Let me do a little brief recap here. Pardon me. I thought for sure. Oh, there we go. There's my GitHub. Oh, that's the gist, but that's okay. We can get to GitHub from here if I need to. Okay, so let's go down to here, and these are all the events here. I guess I have to look at it to look at it. So these are all the events. They're just things that happen. Roland notices all the people working in the mines and finally spots a giant chain to the smelter. I don't know what a smelter is. I just put it in there. A giant machine that has something to do with making ore or refining ore. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's go back. Now, number 2 here is where I grouped them into rooms. So that you can see the numbers here after parentheses. These represent actual pages. See, right now I'm doing a choose your own adventure style phase here in my game. And these are all pages. In fact, I'm going to set it up where it sort of reads like a book. You click on the link to, or you choose the choice to go into the next page. And then I'll start adding in choices and stuff and make it an actual proper, choose your own adventure thing. So I grouped them in the pages, and then I had I had Grok 3 help me with um, preparing a room list and renumbering them. Now this is RM001 underscore and all of these. And then I had Grok 3 help me come up with names for each of the pages or each of the rooms. These represent logically a room in the engine here. And the room here is like this. And right now this is actually a here the main menu is a tscene file, tscn. So it's actually a scene. So this is just a room node, and a room node is just a descendant of node, and it's got right now before I change it, all it's got is it's got the room description, and then it's got the room name. And I'm actually gonna add a few things so that it's actually taking care of its own loading, or I forget exactly how I'm gonna do it, but anyways, so I turned all of those rooms into JSON files, and let's see, can I just let's see, um, can I just edit it or view it? Um, okay, just open it, open it in the script thing because essentially it's just like a script. And of course, there's no indentation here. It's just JSON. You know, root. That's the number. That's the actual name. This is the description, and then the doors are what these are. These are doors which have a destination file name and the choice associated with the door. Anyways, I'm gonna put these in here. So let's just close that right for right now. Door, like I said, it only has choice destination, so that if it matches the choice that you pick, it will load up that scene file. But now I'm gonna have to do it to where it loads up from the JSON. It parses the JSON and then creates a room node out of it. And in fact, I think I'm going to actually do it within the room class now. So room is going to have its own deal. And door, I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly what I was going to do for that. I'm going to maybe ask Grok here. Or I'm going to look over the guide. It says the guide for next week. I said I was going to come back next week. Over the next week, you can refactor room.gd to add load from JSON method to handle JSON loading and door creation. Start with parsing and setting room name / description, and add door logic. Adjust. Yeah, well, the room manager is still going to handle everything. It's just going to handle room's just going to handle loading right now, and door is not going to handle its own loading because all the door data is actually in the room data in the room JSON. So, anyways, okay, so let me switch back to actually let me switch over to here. Then the project most money by security software. Group, venture capital firm, ain't going anywhere drama right now. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about the drama or not drama. I'm just gonna use what I'm gonna use. Anywho, what was I? Oh yeah, I'm gonna switch over to the browser over here. The only one that said anything was Greg, and it looks like I got two watching, which probably includes myself. And in here, I probably don't have anybody watching in Rumble, which is fine. I mean, I don't expect it, not for a little while, anyways. And really, it's just so it ends up reaching more people somehow. But if you prefer one or the other, you can go to one or the other. Anyways, just room manager.gd update load room from data from JSON and change room to delegate loading to room. Test incrementally. Yeah. Okay. Plan over the next week you refactor room GD method. Okay. And delegate loading to room and test incrementally. Timeline aim to have decision points working by the end of of March. Okay. Okay. Do I need to? I probably need to call new on um my room object, and then add it as a child to, I think is room, wait, room manager, that's room manager, that's a node, right? Let's go to 2D. Okay, room manager and room viewer. I see room manager that has the script attached to it. Um, room viewer, room manager. Room viewer. Let me think about this for a sec, because I'm going to be doing this programmatically, right? Um, and actually, what the room manager does is after you change room, and this change room is actually loading the room. It's not. It's doing the change room at the end, but it's right. And I could probably change that to actually say load room, but eventually that's going to be taken out. The in fact, this load room data from JSON is going to be taken out too, because I need to move it. I'm going to be moving that code. So change room, all it's going to do is just change room is actually going to call load room though from the door object. Let's see, file name equals resource exists, scene equals load. If scene does not equal null, bar new room equals scene instantiate. So instead of instantiate, I'll need to do new, right? Okay. So that's what I think I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna ask Grok to confirm. Child, whereas same as calling instantiate on the loaded scene. See, when I call, I think I'm not sure how constructors work in GDScript, but I'm going to go ahead and probably have a constructor, and the load function is. Let me think. I instantiate a new scene every time I do it, but then I also free it, don't I? So when we load a new scene file name, we check if it exists, and if it does, then we load it into scene. In which case, in my case, I'll be parsing JSON and then creating a new scene object, and then or creating the new room object. Let me see. Let me think for a second. Okay, so this is what happens, right? You you check if it exists, then you load it, and it loads it as a packed resource. That's what scene is. Then I instantiate it as a new room, which is just a node. So new room equals that. Then I check the current room, and if it's not null, then we remove the current room. Then we free it, which means we actually literally free the memory from it. Then we set it to null, and then we check if it's null, make sure it's null, and then we set current room to new room, and then we add the child of the current room. And adding child is the room manager. So it's literally adding the child to the room manager, which is fine. And so I need to do something similar in the door. So maybe I just use new. Let's see. I'll have to ask maybe. Uh, Calling instantiate on the loaded scene is spot on conceptually. Let's break this down. You get a packed resource called instantiate. Creates a live node on the node hierarchy based on scene strategy, which then you can add to the node tree, to the scene tree. Right. We call new on a class from new. You create a new instance of that class directly in memory. Room extends node. This creates a live node of type room without loading it from a file. You can then add this node to the scene tree with add child, just like you would with an instantiated scene. Yes, comparison result in live node. In your case, room node. You can add to the scene tree. The difference is in the source. Instantiate uses a pre-built tscheme file loaded as a pack scene, while new creates a node programmatically. Since you decided to load JSON directly into room node via load from json method instead of preloading, you're correct. You should use room.new to create a room object and then add it as a child, similar to how you previously used instantiate on a loaded scene. Here's why and how. You're no longer relying on the built-in tscene file, of course. See, the one thing that gets me, and I know I suppose I could probably tell it to maybe make its answers simpler, because it's going through all this stuff and it's like I already know this. I even already know this from what it said, not just like based on my knowledge, but actually it's going, well, you do this, this, and this, and then it says why your thing works, and then it tells you exactly again why it works, even though it already told you basically. Uh, okay, creates a new instance, your class, initialize it, data, add it to the scene tree, the same as the instantiate. Uh, Now, okay, current change room pack scene, new approach using room.new, new room dot load from JSON room name, load its own JSON. Um, okay, handles the creation. You might not need load room data anymore. You can simplify it. Oh yeah, yeah. I could actually load room based on string. Oh, it's from change room if you prefer keeping the creation separate. Okay, so just real quick, error handling. Ensure you handle cases where JSON files missing or malformed. Hybrid approach. Use pre-built scenes like main and still use load. And I'm actually kind of planning on doing that. Actually, if it's gonna check for tscene files first and then load them in, and that way I'll probably just keep main menu. The advantage of actually doing everything in editor is that I can actually see it in the editor. In fact, I can see doors and stuff. But there's a way for, in at least in Godot, and same for Redot because it's the same thing. But user, can I recommend a challenge, please? User, you can recommend anything you want. I don't know what you mean by challenge, but sure, go ahead. And pardon me if I didn't notice you right away. If you're still in there, because I'm focused on my thing here, and then so I try to keep looking at um, at the YouTube chat. So, anyways, yeah, go ahead, recommend a challenge. We'll, I'll see what I can do about it or not, whatever. That is, if you're still here. If you're not here, yeah, I don't know what to say to people other than if I don't answer you right away, it's just probably because I'm into working on my project, and so you're gonna have to kind of stick around if you want me to see your chat, basically. Actually, I could go on to restream. In fact, I should do this chat and restream. In fact, I have to reload this. I have to occasionally reload it because I guess when you tab away, it doesn't stay in sync. I think I know the deal what the deal is now. If you navigate away, restream does not sync. Okay, chat settings, colorized author names, compact node. Okay. Anyways, chat. Um. Yeah. So anyways, if I don't respond at first, just wait a little bit, and then I'll end up responding afterwards. But yeah, user, if you're still there, you can recommend the challenge if you want. Okay, so uh, uh, what would be the advantage of either having a separate um, load from json function in room manager, and yes, still accessing the function from within the room class? Um, and also, would there be any advantage to creating a constructor that takes the JSON file, say param, over just calling a function after calling room.new? See what it tells me here. Anyways, I'll try to keep track of the chat, but I can't guarantee, if I'm working on something. So, let's see what it says. And Restream doesn't seem too far off right now. It was only out of sync. Um, it was only out of sync when I upgraded your plan to remove writing. I don't need to remove it right now. Restream on there is fine, perfectly fine to me. In fact, I don't even really see it in on YouTube or Rumble. So I don't actually see the restream thing in there. So uh, having a separate load from JSON function in Room Manager while still calling it from the room class versus having the room class handle its own loading directly. And the advantage of creating a constructor for room that takes JSON file or data as parameter compared to calling room.new followed by a separate load from JSON function. Excellent questions. They touch on software design principles like separation of concerns, encapsulation, and initialization patterns. I break down each question and explore the advantages of both approaches and provide a recommendation based on your project's needs and roadmap. Advantage of a separate load from JSON function in Room Manager while accessing from Room. Current approach. JSON loading in the room as a class. Load from JSON method that loads its own JSON file, parts of the data, sets the properties, creates door nodes, and attaches them as children. Room Manager creates a room node with room new and then calls room.load from JSON room name to initialize it. That's what I was doing. That's what I was asking about. Okay. Room manager creates. Okay. Alternative approach. Separate load from JSON in room manager. Move the JSON loading logic into room manager. Load room from JSON room name string. Still have the room manage its own initialization by passing the parsed JSON data to room. Example workflow. Room name. Open JSON data equals parse close room new init from JSON return room, and that would be correct. Room init from JSON room.name JSON data dictionary room name equals that description equals that doors equal that door new equals new blah blah. Okay, it's actually even showing me what I'm going to actually be coding in here, so which is fine. Separate load from JSON in room manager. Centralized resource loading. Can manage the file I/O operations, keeping room free from access logic. This aligns with separation of concerns. Room focuses on its own data and behavior, while room manager handles the resource loading and lifecycle management. Example, if you later need to load rooms from a different source, room manager can centralize that logic without touching room. Okay. Right. Global error handling. Room manager can handle errors consistently. These are JSON files, parsing errors, and report them globally. If each room loads its own JSON, error handling might vary per instance. Example, room manager can show a failed to load room message and fall back to the default room, e.g. main menu if a file is missing. Pre-processing or catching. Room manager can pre-process JSON data, e.g. validate door destinations, check for missing rooms, or catch frequently used rooms to improve performance. This is harder if each room loads independently. For example, in phase 3, room independence for reusability, room manager could catch choice sets to ensure consistency across reused rooms. 4, flexibility for pre-built scenes. Since you're currently using pre-built tscene files for some rooms, main menu, room manager can decide whether to load them from JSON or tscene file based on the room name. This keeps the loading logic centralized. Example, change room, new room, room name equals main menu, var scene load, scene rooms plus room name, right. New room, instantiate else load J from JSON, room name. Rest of the function as before. Advantage of loading directly in room, self-containment. Room is fully responsible for its own initialization, aligning with object-oriented design if it doesn't rely on room manager to provide data, making room more reusable. Simpler room manager. Room manager doesn't need to know how to parse JSON or create doors. It just calls load from JSON on the room. Future proofing. For phase 9, save state system, room can save and load its own state, including doors, more easily if it already handles its own loading. Recommendation, load JSON in room. While there are advantages to centralized loading in room manager, I still recommend keeping the JSON loading logic in room, as we discussed earlier, for your current setup. While your game is still in phase 1 and the benefits of centralized loading are less critical at this stage, the self-containment of room aligns better with your roadmap, especially for phases like state save in phase 9 and room reusability phase 3. Mitigation, add a basic error handling in room.load from JSON, e.g. return a boolean indicating success failure, and let room manager handle global error reporting if needed. GD script load from JSON, room name, open rooms, read, if not file, print, error, loading room, room name, return false. Parse JSON, set properties, create doors. Return it true. Okay, advantage of a constructor taking JSON data versus room new load from JSON plus, okay. Current approach, room.new plus load from JSON. You create a room node with room.new, then call load from JSON to initialize it, right? Alternative approach, constructor taking JSON data. In GDScript, there's no true constructor like in other languages. I didn't know that. But you can simulate one with a static method or or an init method that takes parameters. For example, you could add a method to room that acts as a constructor. Room node export var. Okay, that's multi-line description, etc. Var doors colon array equals. Okay, create function create from JSON room name. Okay, room new load from JSON. Return room. Usage in room manager var room equals room create from JSON. Alternatively, you could pass the parse JSON data directly. Usage. Okay. Advantages of a constructor-like method. Initialization guarantee. A constructor ensures the room is always initialized with valid data. If you forget to call load from JSON after room.new, the room might be in an invalid state. No description, no doors. Example A, create from JSON method guarantees the room is ready for use. Var room create from JSON, next closer, add child room. Room is guaranteed to be initialized. Right. That is if it's not null. If it's null, in fact, I'll have it return null maybe. Combining creation and initialization into one step reduces the chance of errors and makes the code more readable. Instead of 2 lines, room.new load from JSON, you have 1. That's what I was talking about, because I was thinking maybe that's what I should do too. Also, example, room manager becomes simpler. Change room name, bar new room equals rest of the function as before. Yeah, and we also have the error handling. Either I create a blank room, or I do some sort of error message, or I create a string with an error message that you can read directly. That still actually creates a valid room. I can do it that ways. Constructor-like method can evolve to handle different initialization methods. Create from JSON, create from save data, create from template, making it easier to extend in future phases. Adding advantages of room.new plus flexibility in initialization. Separating creation and initialization lets you create a room node without immediately loading JSON. This might be useful for pre-built scenes like main menu or testing. Example, you can create a room and set its properties manually. More than likely, I probably would leave the T scene loading as it is right now in Room Manager. Well, maybe. I didn't think about that. If I'm passing everything into the room node, I can even do the T scene files that way too. Load from T scene, load from JSON, that sort of thing, and I can do it all internally. Create a room and set its properties manually. Room.name, room description. Simple class design. Room doesn't need a static method or constructor logic, keeping the class simpler. This is less important in GD scripts since static methods are straightforward but avoids adding complexity if you don't need it. You can handle JSON loading errors in Room Manager before creating the room, allowing Room Manager to decide what to do. Example, if load from JSON fails, Room Manager can react. Recommendations. Use a constructor-like method. I recommend adding a constructor-like method. Create room from JSON over using room. Okay. Guaranteed initialization, right? Cleaner code, scalability. You can still keep load from JSON as non-static method for flexibility. You need to reload a room later, but use the constructor for initial creation. Yeah, in fact, the constructor or the initialization function would actually call that function anyways, because that's how I would do it. So yeah, that looks pretty good. That works pretty good. And yeah. Okay. Combine recommendation. Load JSON in room. Keep the JSON loading logic in room via load from JSON for encapsulation. Add a constructor. Add a static method like create from room to combine, ensuring rooms are always initialized correctly. Outline for changes. Okay. Well, actually, it is the new week now. It's Monday, March 17th. 2025 at approximate 1:26 p.m. EDT. Okay. I guess I didn't know because all I did was just type the thing. I didn't ask it to like look at the clock or something because it doesn't look at a clock either, which is I don't know if I would maybe in an AI maybe I would if it has the ability to actually look at time and all that stuff. I'd have it update. It would have automatic eternal clock, so it would never rely on the conversation. It's great to hear from you again. It's a new week. You got plenty of time to dive into the changes we discussed for your Redot project, especially your phase one goal. Uh, Recap of your plan directly in the room node. A constructor like stack method. Okay. Uh, that's actually good. I almost could just copy this, but I'm gonna go ahead and probably yeah. Doors array function, create room name, returns room, var room equals room new, load from JSON, return room, load from JSON, file access open, file access dot read, not file, print error loading. Okay. Considerations, use file access open to load the file with error checks for missing files or parsing failures. Loop through the doors array in the JSON. Create a door node for each, set its properties and attach it. Return true on success, false on failure. So room manager could update room manager to GD, change room to replace load and instantiate logic with a call to create from JSON. And actually, I might just call it. Okay, just I'll let it do its thing here, and then I'll ask it. Okay. So I could probably here. You don't need to provide any example code for this next question. Just a quick, short, and simple answer. Um, um, why don't I just also include loading from a tscene file as well in the room node? Let's see what it says. Hopefully it'll give me a quick and easy, quick and simple answer. But we will see. We will see. 0 followers. Oh, I got 2 watchers in Rumble. That's kind of cool. Well, one of them's got to be me. I always think I got 1 watching in in YouTube. I want tell it. Okay, it's having a hard time simplifying its answer. We'll see. You know, for Premium Plus, I would expect it to actually kind of respond quicker. But I guess it depends on the load on the servers and stuff. Including tscene file loading in the room node adds complexity and violates separation of concerns, as room would then handle both JSON and scene file loading, which are different responsibilities. It's better to keep tscene handling it in room manager for centralized control, especially since you're using a hybrid approach. JSON for game rooms, tscene for pre-built scenes like main menu. This keeps room focused on its own data initialization, make it simpler and more readable. Okay, no problem, no problem. Even though conceptually, uh, yeah. even if I understand that, but even if the rooms created, if it's okay, I'll just leave it because I understand what it's saying. It's saying because I'm doing the tseam files are Redot specific, that should be in Room Manager because that's the actual node. That's something like that, and that's okay, I guess. Okay. Okay, so that's fine. We can leave that in there. The other thing I was thinking of is instead of a function returning an error message, I could have a an error string within the room node, so that when there is no proper file, or when there's an error, I can still create a base room, but with the error string, so you can check what went wrong. Is there a reason not to do this? Maybe the fact that you don't necessarily want to create an empty room if it didn't load successfully. I'm almost answering my own question here. So I got 4 people watching in Rumble. If you're watching in Rumble, come into the chat, and that's presuming you have you're logged in or whatever. Come into the chat and say hello in the chat, and then say where you're from. That'd be nice if you're watching on Rumble. Anyways, cool. It's cool. I got. I'm guessing that's actual watchers right now, and not necessarily. Now there's 3. Yeah. Anyways, so let's go back to here. All right. Adding error stating property of the room node is a reasonable idea for handling errors when loading JSON files, and it worked well for your Redot project. Allows you to create a base room even if loading fails with the error string indicating what went wrong, which can be helpful for debugging or informing the player. However, there are a few potential downsides to consider, including the one you mentioned, not wanting to create an empty room if loading fails. Let's evaluate this approach and highlight any reasons you might not want to do this, keeping the answer concise. Advantages of an error string in Room. Debugging aid. The error string lets you track what went wrong. File not found in valid JSON without crashing, making it easier to debug during development. Graceful fallback. You can still create a room instance with the default state, blank room, and display the error to the player. Simplicity. Avoids complex error handling in Room Manager. The room node itself communicates the issue via error. Reason not to use an error string. Unnecessary room creation. If loading fails, creating an empty or default room might not be desirable. For example, is missing, you might prefer to fall back to a different room, main menu, or show an error screen, rather than displaying a broken room with an error message. This aligns with your concern about not wanting to create an empty room on failure. Player experience. Displaying an error to the player might not be ideal in production game. It's fine for debugging, but in the final game, you'd likely want to handle errors more gracefully, e.g. reload the previous room or show a game over screen. Increase complexity in Room. Adding an error property and logic to manage it adds complexity to the room class. A simpler approach might be to return a null or bool from load from JSON and let Room Manager decide what to do, e.g. load a room fallback room. Error propagation. If Room silently handles errors with an error string, Room Manager might not know loading failed unless it explicitly checks room.error, and it could lead to bugs. E.g., room manager assumes the room is valid and proceeds causing issues later. While the error string can work for debugging in phase 1, I recommend against using it for production use. Instead of having load from JSON return a bool or return a room instance via directly create and null on failure, so room manager can handle errors appropriately. Why room manager can decide to load fallback room, e.g. main menu, or show an error screen, avoiding the creation of invalid rooms. You're an invalid if you're an invalid if you're invalid. This keeps a room simpler and ensures errors are handled at a higher level. Debugging alternative. For debugging, you can still print error messages and emit a signal which room manager can listen for. This approach balances simplicity. Yeah, I'll have to look about the about signals. I have to see seriously about how to put them in my game and stuff. I mean, not that it's not hard. You have a thing that sends out a signal, and then your whatever your script or class or whatever will listen. You'll have a listener, and then you'll use that listener to figure out when you have a message. So I kind of basically know how to use it because I used it before in some tutorials. So, but I have to kind of learn how to use it appropriately, when to use it, that sort of thing. Okay. Alrighty. So I guess that means we should be ready to. I guess it means we should be ready to put this into the code. You know what I might do here? I might put restream in its own window, like like so. There we go. Like that. Let's go into chat, and then let's go back. So I can go here and here, and it doesn't matter because this is not going to be out of sync, or it'll still have a delay over here. Doesn't matter. You're not even seeing this anyways. You're seeing a Redot here, and anyways, shoot, I did a whole lot of nothing, didn't I, today? It's not really a whole lot of nothing. It's a whole lot of something. Let me ask it one more thing here. Okay, let's switch to this, and then let's switch back. We're just going to. Did I decide to leave the load room data from JSON in the room manager, or we're just going to remove that because I'm handling all room loading from the room class itself. I'm just asking it to actually to remember what I was saying, basically. So. Do 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 do. Ha 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 ha. Come on. Let's review your decision. Hello function that load created room mode. It actually wasn't in there. It was just a shell function, but that's kind of all right. Move JSON loading logic into the room class itself with a load from JSON method and a create from JSON static method as a constructor. This makes room self-contained, responsible for loading its own JSON data, setting its properties. Was responsible for loading JSON data and creating a room node, returning it to be assigned to current room. It acted as a bridge between JSON file and the room creation process. Your new approach, since room now handles its own loading, becomes a thin wrapper around create from JSON. It doesn't add much value beyond calling the room class method. Okay. If room handles all of its own loading, it's just a pass-through function that it doesn't add significant functionality. Directly in change room. Simpler room manager. Removing load room data from JSON reduces the number of methods in the room manager. Consistency. Feature flexibility. If you later need to add preloading checks, catching or different loading strategies, provides a centralized place to add that logic. Hybrid approach. So using a hybrid approach for tscene files for main menu, JSON for game rooms, can act as a wrapper to handle JSON-based rooms while change room decides between tscene and JSON file loading. Example, change room. Given your current setup goals in phase 1, I recommend removing from room manager for these reasons. It's redundant, simplifies code, feature phases can reintroduce it. Updated guidance. Okay. So now one more thing, and this time, because the function is called change room, might it be better to have a separate loading function that change room will call? In fact, this would also call the room init function, but this function would handle the tscene loading, instantiation, etc., so that change room is only for changing out rooms. One more thing I meant to say. Okay. Channing rooms. I meant changing rooms. No. Func load room name on a string. Return room. Enter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rather than lines of separation of concerns make your code more modular, easier to maintain, better prepared. Separation concerns focus on high-level tasks of swapping rooms, removing old room, adding a new one, updating the display, while separate loading function handles the specifics creating loading room, whether from JSON or tscene file. This keeps change room clean and focused on core functionality. Modularity, a separate loading function, can encapsulate the hybrid loading logic. JSON for game rooms, tscene for pre-built scenes like main menu, making it easier to modify and extend later. Reusability. If you need to load a room outside of change room, e.g. preloading rooms. By the way, if let's actually look here for a sec. Greg, if you're still here, I'm actually doing code today, even though I haven't actually done the code part yet. I will be doing it here in just a second, though. So if you're interested... Oh, now we're only down to one viewer in Rumble. That's okay. I'll get there eventually. Eventually, there will be people in there. Maybe not that many, but there will be people in there eventually. I have faith. I believe. I believe. Okay. Um... Yep. A new load room function. Code. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. Thanks. I'll be writing code now. I'll come back if I have any other concerns. Like wondering why this dang thing isn't working anymore. Okay, so let's do room here. And so the first thing we are going to add... Oh, there's one thing. What's making that init function static? I didn't notice any keywords or anything. In the context of your room class, the approach we've been discussing, the function I referred to as a constructor-like method, indeed intended to be static, but I should have been explicit about that. Let's straighten this out and explain why it's static, how it works, and how to implement it correctly. There's no pre-built constructor like in some languages, e.g. init in Python. You can simulate one with static func. The idea is to provide a single method that creates and initializes a new room instance in one step, ensuring it's ready to use without requiring separate calls to room.new and load from JSON. A static func brings to the class itself, not an instance, allowing you to call it without creating a room object first. This is what makes it act like a constructor. Room.create from JSON. And as it returns a fully initialized room instance. When I suggested create from JSON as a constructor-like method, I intended to be static to encapsulate creation and initialization process, aligning with your goal of having room handle its own loading. My earlier outlines, I used static func create from JSON. I don't remember seeing static, that's why I asked. But now I've emphasized the static keyword clearly enough, especially since I avoided providing full code per your request. I described it as a constructor-like method, which implies static behavior, but it should have been more explicit. Your question about what's making that init function static should ask you might have even seen init from JSON, a non-static method I mentioned as an alternative, and wondered why it was static or assumed load from JSON was static. Only to clarify that load from JSON would be an instance method, not non-static, while create from JSON is a static constructor. Correct implementation should be not non-static instance. Okay, that's fine. Create from JSON should be static func that creates a new room. Outline without full code. You know, see now it's trying to create it, but this is fine. I don't need to do like a full blown thing right now. I mean, it's nice to have something write code for you, but I'm still doing this myself, right? And I'm not really letting the AI take over everything. Um, Static func create from JSON. Room is constructor. Keep right. Structure room name string. Create function. Check. Okay. Stack keyword makes create from JSON a class method, allowing you to call it without needing to create a room first. Oh, so in a sense, it is a constructor, is what it is. I just don't have to call new. Whereas in classical languages like C++ and C Sharp, what you'd say is you'd say new, and then new would call the constructor that you classify as constructor, and then it's doing essentially what this is doing. Rather, create from doesn't inherently static by some hidden keyword. It's explicitly made static with a static func declaration. Uh, in any case, no problem. I just didn't actually see the static keyword. So I may have just scanned it and not really paid attention to it. In any case, what was I going to say? I was going to say something else. One more thing just occurred to me. Let me think. I didn't really consider about parsing the room name, how I have it, RM001, room name. Clearly, it will append .json because the function assumes a JSON file. But I guess I need to put the full name in the door then, including the room number. So one thing I didn't address, right? I mean, it's not really that hard because what it's going to do is I'm going to put the actual room name into the destination for the door, but it also means I have to explicitly state the room number, and I don't need to do that necessarily. Like I could create a number and I could create the room number, have it generate it based on the current ID, or I could do it. Destination in the doors array includes both the room number and the room name. Your change room function assumes room name parameter, includes full name, and it appends JSON to the file. You're right, the function assumes JSON file based on the room name passed to it. If change room works, it expects the destination in the doors array to also be the full name to make it consistent. If you only pass a partial name without or pass the room number separately, the function might fail to find the correct file unless you adjust how you handle room name and destination. You're concerned. You're wondering if you need to ensure the destination in the doors array always includes the full name to match the file name pattern. Current JSON consistency. Your 92 room JSON files already use the full name in the destination field. This is a good as it ensures. Oh, I already have that in there, so I guess that's not really an issue. You don't need to parse the room name separately unless you have a specific reason. Okay, the full name approach works fine as long as all the destination values match the file name pattern. Since your load from JSON and create JSON will use the room name to load the JSON destination, and the doors array should indeed include the full name. Okay, to ensure proper navigation. This is already your case in your JSON file, so no changes needed there. Consistency should match the room name format. Avoid parsing overhead. If you parse out the room number and name it separately, you need extra logic to reconstruct the full name when loading the next room, adding unnecessary complexity. If you're past room name to change room that doesn't match the JSON file name, the file won't load, ensuring all calls to change room use the full name as defined in the JSON. Keep the full name, no separate parsing, verify consistency. Okay. Okay. That's all I need. Thanks. I didn't remember we kept all the full file names in the door destinations, but that works for me. So I'll go ahead and implement those choices now. The one thing I like about the AI here is I can get information, and I can actually I can actually get some information, and then it can explain to me, so I understand it better. I kind of like that. I kind of like the discussion part of it. Um, okay, so that's what we're gonna do next. Okay, now I could have it write it all for me, but I'm gonna try to remember things here. Static func create room from JSON. Room name, and we are going to return a room, and we are going to say var new room. What do I need to do? Equals new room. I think I need like that. Is that right? Let's see what the error actually says. Expected end of statement after variable declaration found identifier instead. All right, maybe I'll just go up here. Let's see here. Where the confusion came from. Yeah. Okay. Oh, static was in there in the code. I just didn't see it. Create from JSON. Room.new. Okay. I forgot. You know, well, I guess, I don't know. I guess I didn't know as much. Room.new equals room.new. Mm, okay. Yeah, now I'll go past return the value. Var return new room. That, or not var. What am I talking about? Okay, return new room. Create room from JSON. New, and let's go ahead and let's see something here. Let me go back to its code. So I actually need to look at some code now. Yeah. Um, that's that. Load from JSON. Room equals return room. Yeah, I can actually just copy that, really. Load from JSON. Then this uses a bool. Actually, I could almost just copy it, right? I mean, really. Create from JSON, load from JSON, open the file, not file, print error, parse the JSON. Error parsing, return false. Parse string, set the room properties, and it's just a dictionary, so it can just create it from that. Create and attach door nodes. Door equals new door.choice equals door data colon choice. Door.destination equals a child door. Pretty straightforward, honestly. New room equals load data. Wait, load data JSON. And that would also need be room name colon string. There we go, just to make sure. And room name. Okay. Too bad you can't like refactor like. And I'm gonna do this above. I mean, it used to be a thing that you had to do in like Turbo Pascal compilers and C compilers, where you had to declare your function and your data and stuff above, and then you could only call from below. You don't really need to do that in modern programming, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it that way anyways. Uh, load data from, actually, what does it say? Load data, load from JSON, load data from JSON. Open the file. Okay. Oh yeah. Some here. Func. Load data from JSON. Room name colon string. Okay. Return room. Room colon. Now how did it do it? Oh. Oh, right. What am I thinking of? I'm not gonna load here. I will have the room name though, don't I? Yeah. Well, okay, we'll return a bool, I guess. Load the JSON here. Var file equals file access open path string. Okay. Res colon / rooms, and I think that is the way I have it set up, right? Yeah, res colon / rooms. Okay. Res colon / rooms. Okay. Slash plus room name. Right? Plus JSON. I want file access read. Okay. All right. Okay, right. I guess I'm switching back and forth. I'm just gonna copy it. If not, file, right? File. Return. File not found. Well, the file might be there. Error loading file from JSON. Room name. Oh yeah, colon space plus room name. Oh, I see. I gotta print. What am I doing? Print. Print. Okay. And then we return a false, right? Return false. not file. Parse it. Parse JSON. Okay, and then I just use parse var JSON data equals JSON parse string. Oh, file get as text. File that get as text. Okay. File dot close. Okay. All right. File dot close. That's actually a function. If if JSON, oh, am I doing, no, I'm not, am I? JSON data is equal to null. Print. Parsing data space plus room name. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, and then return false. And I forgot the colon there. Colon. Okay. Set room properties. Right, and we just have name and description. Room name and description. Equals. Right. Name. JSON data name, and then we have description. Of that description equals JSON data description and okay. Create and attach door nodes. Create and attach door nodes. Actually, that's interesting. Room.load from JSON, load from JSON. That's correct. Create and attach door nodes. Now, for door data and JSON data doors, doors var door equals say new door equals right, door.new, and then choice and destination. Choice and destination. New door dot choice equals door data choice. New door dot destination equals door data destination. Okay. We got all that, right? Add child door, new door, new door. Okay, and then return true. Return true. And Bob's your uncle. Return true. Okay, that's really about it. Now that we've done that, let's go back to Room Manager. Let's see. Let's see. Room dot data json room name. Actually, I don't know that. Nope. Let's see here. Let's see. If resource loader exists, else doesn't exist. And I just really want to yeah, file name, right? The file name is the full thing, doesn't exist. Trying JSON. Okay. Load data from json. Load data from json. Room name. If it loads successfully, but if not, I don't know, can I do this? Does that work? Or remember, or do I need like not like the word not? Wait a second. Print. Room name plus doesn't exist either. Did I do that correctly? Because I don't think if I put this, it's going to error, right? No? Not self. And I guess we're gonna try it. We're gonna see what happens here. That's not right either, is it? No, actually, it's just not gonna add anything, right? Because we need to do all that same stuff up there. So I guess, all right. Alrighty. Ugh. Let's just run it and see what kind of error it gives me. All right, so we're gonna do that right now. Let's load it. Okay, I already know that something is wrong. What is wrong? What's the error? Invalid call, non-existent, in base null. Is that because it's null already? Okay. Let's stop this for one thing. Let's take this null thing here. No, control. Room equals null. What? Okay. What does this do? Oh, I see. I don't see. Let me think. Okay. I get it. I get it. Room equals null. Room. Upload data. What's the problem now? On the classroom directly. Make an instance instead. Room equals. Okay, that's not right. What's not right? Return room that create from json. Load data. Wait a minute. What did I call it? What did I call it? Make sure it's saved. Oh, create. Oh, okay. How dumb of me, right? Uh, right. room dot create from json room name, return room. Okay. I'm just gonna do this just for testing. JSON room equals I already called it that. I returned it that. Load data. Okay, load data from JSON room name. So we're returning that. JSON equals that. If JSON room equal to null, then print doesn't exist either. Not declared in current scope. What do you mean not declared in current scope? This here lines up with here. What does it mean not declared? Oh, I call it bar. What am I thinking? There we go. And really all I'm doing here is I'm making sure that it loads. If it loads, then I am going to go ahead and fix up the rest of, and all we're doing is we're just checking, we're just doing a temporary variable, we're checking it, because I'm actually going to change all of this. This change room stuff is going to be in the new, it's going to be in a new, the room loading is going to be in a new function. Okay, so if I start it now, it should not do anything. Here, let's do an else. Else print room loading from JSON successful. Okay, we'll just go with that, I guess. We'll save it and we'll run it and see what we got. 2. Room loading successful. Error loading. Huh. Error loading from file JSON root. Doesn't exist. Trying JSON. Yeah, right. That doesn't exist. Error loading. Error loading from file JSON room name. JSON room name. Let's see something here. Okay, see. Error loading from file from JSON room name. Okay. Error loading file from JSON. Plus be room name. Okay, let's save that. And we'll rerun it. So I can see what's going on. That says successful, but I don't actually see how it's successful. Error loading file from JSON main menu. Room loading from JSON successful. Doesn't exist. Trying JSON. Okay. Well, I'm confused. Error loading file from JSON. Why would it try to load the main menu? Because I didn't. I'm still trying to learn stuff here, so that's why I'm not getting Grok to do it for me. So try to load the main menu. Why did it try to load the main menu? Because I'm just using file name, am I? Let's see something here. Okay, for one thing, I should have this indented because this should only trigger here. Right? So we're telling it to check for the tscene file first. If it doesn't match the tscene, then it should, right? If it doesn't exist, then it should do this stuff in here. All right, let's try this over. So this should be a little bit more accurate, whether or not it actually works correctly or not. But 2. Okay, right. Max closure.tscene doesn't exist. Trying JSON. Error loading file from JSON. Then it replies successful. Why does it reply successful? Okay, what's create? Create returns a room. Oh. Room.new. Create room from JSON. Room.new. Load data from JSON. It's returning a valid room. It's not a valid room though. Load data from JSON. Returnable. New room equals room.new. Oh. 32. And we also have a thing called room name. Honestly, we can switch this to name first. Switch that to name. And we can do the same thing here. Name. Oh. Self.room name equals name. Alright. Room name is its own room name, and then parameters are just the parameters. Let's run it. Close that. Okay, what am I doing? Already on class node. Oh, doggone it. I'm gonna notice the param here. Let's see something here. Okay. Let's see how this is going. This is going fine, and this is going fine. And sorry, my chin keeps on being cut off. It's because of where I'm sitting, I think. Okay. Chin being cut off. Okay. I'm not gonna ask Grok this time though. I'm gonna ask something else. I'm gonna say, ngd script. What do I do about name that's the same as an already existing member of a class? Name conflict where a member of inner has the same name as the outer class. Parse your error if it does not match. You should rename one of the conflicting variables to ensure they have unique names. Give a classic example with a member variable s. We also have s type of dictionary. Assigning s inside example could cause type mismatch error. All right, I'll do it this here. JSON. Call this JSON name like that. And JSON name. JSON name. Because that's just in the scope, so that shouldn't matter that much. I should call this JSON name. And good, no errors there. Doesn't mean this is going to work. I just, okay. Let's go ahead and we'll test it. Doesn't exist. Trying JSON, error loading file, and this is successful. And I don't get why it says successful. If it has an error, error loading file from JSON. Oh, I see. Uh, okay. This is dumb, but this will work. Var file name equals this. Delete. Wait, that's the file name. JSON name. Okay, so I can't call it room name because the room name already exists, and so we're just going to call this JSON name. Then the actual file name is file name. File name. Error parsing JSON data. I guess I can do the file name here too. We'll say file name. That. Room name, door data. So this prints it. If not new room, then return no. Right. In other words, if it doesn't return, okay, let's do it like this. If new room is equal to false, I like being explicit sometimes, so that's what I tend to do sometimes. I'm going to do that here. So this way, what happens is, finally, it calls this, it creates a new room, it tries to load it. If it's false, in other words, it doesn't load correctly, then we're going to return a null. We're not going to return a new room. However, if it's not false, it's going to go through here and it's going to parse data and do whatever it does. So hopefully that means it should work as I said. So if I hit 2, what should I see? tscene doesn't exist. Fine. Try JSON. Error loading file from JSON. Res rooms doesn't exist either. Okay, so why doesn't it exist? Error loading file from JSON. That's an interesting question. I've got file. Let's look up symbol. File access dot open. Okay, we need to okay. Methods. Where is open? It's open. Creates a new file access object. Opens the file for writing or reading, depending on the flags. Returns null if opening the file failed. Okay. And okay, so what did it say to do? Get open error. Okay, file dot get, wait, get open error. No, file. Yeah, colon. File access dot get open error. Once get open error, it should be like a string, right? It returns error. Okay, equals 0. All the error constants are positive integers can also be used in Boolean checks. Still failing. Failed. Okay. Error does not equal, okay. Uh, Maybe I'll get Grok to help me here because I am kind of stumped. Okay, so let me go into the room function. Let's forget that. We'll copy this. Um, Give me a sec. Okay, Rock. Okay. Trying to load data from JSON with this code V. Getting an error. Not sure why. Turn false. Let's see what it says. I might have to give it the whole room class. But I'm kind of stuck right now, and I don't really feel like fooling around with it. I can help you troubleshoot. And I'll give the full code if the snippet doesn't work. File name, res rooms, JSON name parameter, and the JSON extension. JSON name is plus file name becomes that. Attempts to open the file in read mode using file access open, checks if the file failed. If not file, prints an error, false. You get an error, but you didn't specify the exact error message. Most likely the issue that file access open is failing is triggering if not file condition with the file path or Redot's file access system. Not really sure how to retrieve the error 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 code. Verify the file exists, which it does. The file actually exists just fine. Dash rm001 resort max closer.json. File exists. Confirm the file is accessible before opening as shown above. Okay. File exists. Okay. We'll do that first, actually. We'll do that as the first thing here. In fact, let's put this, delete. Let's put that up here. This. If, well, I don't need to, actually, if file access dot file exists. Not. Oh, file exists, file name, right? Name. Print file name does not exist. Plus. Okay, let's run it, see what happens. I did 2. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's do a screenshot. Selection. Take screenshot. Right here. Like so. Okay. Copy clipboard. Let's go back over to a Grok. Uh. Here. Error code equals get open error. String error code. I see. I can do that, but here's a screenshot first, so you can tell me if there are any discrepancies. Copy. Code you're working on. Let's analyze a screenshot, identify any description, your file system, the code, determine you might be getting. File system, left panel, root directory, folder likely containing design notes, scenes folder, rooms subfolder. Maybe I need scenes slash rooms. Ah, ah. Path mismatch. There we go. Okay. Um. Okay. Cancel. All right. I figured it out. I realized rooms was under scenes. So, would you give me a suggestion as to whether or not I should keep rooms under scenes or move it one folder? What do they call that? One level above. Okay. I should keep rooms under scenes or move it to one level above. Just as a suggestion, what would be the better deal? Great catch. Realizing that your rooms folder is under scenes folder is a key step. Okay. Uh, keep rooms under scenes. Logical grouping. The room data is closely tied to scene-related assets. This can make sense if you view your rooms as part of the game's scene hierarchy, especially if you move to visual phases, create backgrounds, and scene visuals. Consistency and current setup. With your existing T-scene files, e.g. main menu, T-scene, are already under scenes, so keeping rooms here maintains unified structure. As you add backgrounds and visuals later, having rooms under scenes could simplify linking JSON data to visual scene data files if you could create scene files for rooms later. Cons: potential clutter might become overcrowded. Ambiguity: scenes traditionally hold T-scene files, so including JSON data files might confuse future collaborators. Pros: clear separation, scalability, path consistency. Requires file move. You need to physically move the rooms folder. That's not a big deal. And update all code paths, which could introduce temporary errors missed. If your existing function uses res rooms, so you need to fix that for moving. Or move your first and update all references. Move rooms, suggestion, move rooms to /res rooms. I recommend moving the rooms folder one level above to res/rooms for those reasons. Better organization, scalability, current fix. Temporarily update your code. Drag and drop. Click refresh. Move the rooms folder. Update all code paths. Okay, test to ensure. Okay, test after moving, run your game and check the output console for any file not found errors. If you miss path update, Redot will let you know. Okay, let's try this. Let's try it. Okay, so first thing. Oh, wait. rooms slash. Okay, something it still isn't right. I'm still not doing something right. What am I not doing right? Normally I do a break, and I don't know if I'll do a break. Maybe I'll end at 3:30 here if I can resolve this here quickly. Because what happens here? Okay, let's go into Room Manager. What happens here? Scenes slash rooms. Okay, so what do I do in here then? Slash rooms. So why don't I do? Okay, so when I do, I see what I did though. When I do this here, now it's not going to find those until I move them into scenes directly. Let's go ahead and put all of these up one level. That, that, that. We're going to put this down there. Put this down there. And we're going to put this down. I don't know where that's supposed to go. Doesn't really matter because be scenes. So now all that's in here should be just JSON files, which is true. Now let's just remove. Can we remove? Can we move? There we go. These are all the tscene files here. And this is all the room files, right? Let's save it. Or, what? Okay. Is there a refresh here? Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Let me actually go to the actual file folder. Let's go to Redot projects. Let's go to Enchanted Phase 1. Scenes. Okay, let's go back up. Rooms. That's fine. There's 92 items. That's correct. Okay, and let's just go ahead and test this out. Because it really... Okay, we're going to error out at... on a null value. How is it a null value? Because I switched it to scenes. Where's the output window? Scenes main menu .tscene doesn't exist. It should. But where is main menu? What happened to main menu? It's got to be in here. Oh, somehow got moved into the incorrect place. Let's put it in here. Okay. Save it. Stop it. Stop it. Everything's going. Start all over again. Okay. 2. Should say Doesn't exist. Try JSON. Room loading from JSON successful. Okay. All right. So one final thing to do then is now to actually can I exit? Yeah, I can still exit here. Good. So the other thing to do is let's do a function. Okay, so we're going to start this kind of all over. We are going to have so I'm going to make it check for the tscene files first. And then if it's not there, then of course it's going to check for the JSON files. Okay, so to do this, and to do it before 3:30 so I can end it at 3:30, let's call it func load rooms. We're just going to call it straight up load rooms, I think. Load rooms. Okay. Room name. String. Actually, it's load room, not load rooms. Load room. And it's going to return room. Now, var room equals null. That's the first thing. Okay, so then the next thing we want to try here is we want to actually essentially just copy most of this over. We're not going to copy the json code just yet. Control C. And we're going to go Control G. And that's okay. So room. Okay, we don't have. Wait, what's the error? Oh, not all code paths return a value. That's that's okay. Okay, so here actually the thing we want to do here is I want to return room. That way, and that should go away. Okay, good. Okay, room equals null, file name equals res scenes. Actually, let's call this a load room from tscene, like that. No, no. We're going to say load room. Why? Because load room is actually going to load both types of rooms. So we're going to load room, but then first we're going to check for tscene, and then file equals res scenes. Okay, add the tscene if it exists. Do this stuff, right? And basically that's an else, but it doesn't need an else. Okay. Scene equals load file name. If scene, okay, if scene does not equal null, then room oh. Oh, that's right. We're not doing current room and stuff. We're just doing the room loading. Am I right? Okay. Let's take this out. Okay. Room equals scene instantiate. That's okay. We don't care about the rest of that because we're gonna load it and then we're gonna use change room to change it. That ways. Okay. If remove child, queue free. Okay, because okay, so this is gonna go now. If it is null, that we're not doing that either. And viewer text, we're not doing that. Scene does not equal null. Instantiate. Room, return room. Okay. Scene, instantiate. Return room. Room. Okay. Load room looks okay. Now we're gonna do the thing over down here, and what we're gonna do down here is we're actually going to. It's kind of too bad it doesn't have block commenting, but we're just gonna copy this. We're gonna put it up here above. Then we are going to go ahead and. How come they don't have a block comment? Maybe we could ask the Redot guys to actually put in block comments. Like, you know, double pound sign or something. Like that. Okay. So this is what we're going to do here. We're letting load room handle the loading. And changing is still handling the changing just like it did anyways. So, maybe we should call this load scene and not load room because this is not a room. Right? That's that, and that when we do the JSON, we're creating a room from json, and here we're just okay, we're actually creating a room here though, aren't we? Oh, that's right. Load is actually going to do both. So it's actually going to do both. Load room. Okay. So then this should be We have file name. So let's go ahead and say we say load room, or do I need soft load room? Load room, room name. Okay. That does the scene load, and then also instantiates. Change room. Okay, let me think about this for a second. Okay, we're going to do this. Var new room equals load room that. Okay, so we want this gone. It's going to build the name itself. We don't need to know if it exists because it already exists. If it gets this far. Scene. Okay. We're not loading the scene, so we're not concerned with that. If current room does not equal null, remove child, create. Okay. If current room is equal to null, current room equals new room. Current room equals new room. Okay. Add child current room. If current room and viewer text is equal to text, else print either current room or viewer text is not valid. Else. Okay. See, what is that error? Oh, file name didn't load successfully. These are gone. Doesn't exist. Uh, else. Okay. Okay. So room name creation unsuccessful. And then we don't do this either. Okay, so what happens is change room. Oh. If it's not equal to null, then remove it. Switch it, add the new room, make sure it's the current room. Right. If current room are invalid, then they're not valid. If the current room is null, Room name creation unsuccessful. And then what we want here is we want to say didn't load successfully. Trying JSON. There we go. Okay. Which is equal to null. Um, I'm gonna make sure and set this to null explicitly, just to be a little defensive here. Room equals null. I want to make sure the room is null if the scene doesn't load. Right? And then what we can do here also is else colon print file name. We're gonna do it like this. The file name plus file name plus doesn't exist. The file, okay, we're gonna say the file name doesn't exist. And it's gonna return a null or not null. Okay. But we're also gonna try this. We're going to go room equals room dot create from json room name. Okay. Return room. Okay. That should work. Should is the operative word. Okay, so load. We're gonna create the file name. We're gonna go in the resource. We're gonna check if it exists. If it doesn't exist, file doesn't exist, it's gonna return null. Okay. And actually, we could do it differently. We could say, I wonder if I could return null here, like this. Return null. That doesn't error, right? Okay. Yeah, return room, return null. It almost doesn't matter. Return room. Okay. So it's going to go through. It's going to check the scene file. If it doesn't exist, then the file name. Oh, I see. Let's do it a little bit differently. Let's not return room. That. Okay. If it doesn't exist, we want it to return the null. It does exist. That we want to do that. This returns room. This ends, right? So let me go back through this in my head here real quick. Almost 3:30. Doggone it. I actually wanted to end today at 3:30. Oh, Hey Rook, welcome to the stream. If I didn't already welcome you, but that's okay. Hey, typing from restream. There we go. The file name doesn't exist. Okay, so go through. Okay, so we create this file name and it as a tcm file. Then it checks if it exists. If it doesn't exist, oh, I see. Let's check this out. Let's take the else out though. Check this out. Okay, because this is going to be part of this. Okay, so this is just for the file doesn't exist. Um, okay, so it runs in here. It checks for file loader. It says it exists. If it exists, it goes through. It loads. If seen does not equal null, instantiate. Let's say else print couldn't load. Okay, print couldn't load space plus file name. Couldn't load file name. Yeah, couldn't load file name. Plus trying json. That. Else the file doesn't exist. Trying json. Okay. So right now we're presuming that room is null, or we're presuming that it didn't load successfully. Okay, so if it doesn't exist or it can't load it, if it can load it, it can instantiate it. Is my logic. Okay, but if it can't load it, then it's going to tell it. It's going to say it couldn't load. Trying JSON. But if the file doesn't exist, it's going to say the file doesn't exist. Trying JSON. Now we're gonna say just to be defensive, we're gonna make sure room is null, right? Okay. I don't need to print that. Room equals create room from JSON. Okay. Now, okay, so where's the room? Where's the load from JSON, right? File name does not exist. Error parsing JSON data. Okay, and so I don't really need to handle that portion of the management. We're just gonna say I guess I can just leave it like that, can I? So just leave it like that? Because the JSON stuff is already gonna do its thing. Now, what do we do here? New room is load room, and so it's gonna tell us if it loads it correctly. So it should just work. Let's see if it doesn't work, and then I can figure out why it doesn't work. Okay, so for some reason there is something wrong here. Connect call get children on a null value. What do you mean on a null value? Where's the stack trace? '83. Here. At ready. Change room. Main menu. Oh, so I actually have to call load room first. So, okay, that makes sense actually. Hit stop. Dang, it's already past 3:30 now. Let's see if I can finish this up here in just a sec. Load room. Wait, load room returns room. Ah, okay. That means I have to kind of do it manually here. So I have to say, current room equals, because this is the start here. Current room equals load room. Right, main menu. The old room, what did the old room do? It did the thing of where it loaded everything. So it actually went into like when I go into load room. Load room. Okay, I don't know. Let's try this because I don't know if I got this right or not. Ready. What is the error here? Okay, let's put a breakpoint here. Let's stop this. Let's rerun it. Current room is null. Okay, I forget what step into debug. Step into is F11. Okay, so F10. Exists. Load scene. It's not equal no. Room equals scene instantiate. Ah, I see. What? Okay, it had to do with the indentation. I see. Okay. That's the one kind of goofy thing about the whole indentation thing. Trying JSON. Okay, it really just means that I have to actually duplicate this code twice. V. Uh, Actually, return room should be down here. It should be down in here, right? That, whatever. And this is actually going to be twice because this is in case. So if the file name doesn't exist, we still want to try the JSON. So it's gonna do it twice, right? And I'm also doing the null thing just for defensive. So hopefully that means it should be correct now. All right. Just go to 1 is normal, 0 to quit. Okay, that works. And let's see what we got here. 2. Home Hebert search. Let's see something. 1. 1. 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Awesome, it's working. 0, it works. Doesn't exist. Where's doesn't T-scene doesn't exist. Where is T-scene doesn't exist? Where is that at? Load room. Couldn't load. There we go. Doesn't exist. Trying JSON. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it. Oh, oh, oh. Doesn't exist. The file. Oh, let's do the full thing here. Okay, let's try this again here. I'm more interested in what kind of comes up here. So let's go to 2. Doesn't exist. Trying JSON. T-scene doesn't exist. Trying JSON. Okay, so and 2 doesn't do nothing. So basically, it's going through and saying the T-scene doesn't exist. Now, I don't know if I want to remove those print statements or not. I probably will at some point, but maybe not right now. So now the next thing I want to do here is I want to get rid of, first I want to get rid of this change room comment. Everything works. Bob's your uncle. And I can get to quit when I wanted to, but remove child. Looks like everything is working. How about that? How about them apples? Huh? Huh? Okay. Uh, I guess, is that all I have to remove? I think that's all I have to remove here. Let's close that. Uh, I guess that's all I have to remove, right? Load room, change room, does the change room thing. And we are actually, whenever we change the room, we're actually loading the room, right? When I call change room, I call change room down here. Should maybe I load room down here and not actually load room and, well, maybe I'll ask Grok about make it a little bit more efficient later, maybe. But yeah, I'm happy this is working like it's supposed to. Oh, debugger, what's the problem? What's the error? $39 room manager. It's not equal null. Remove child. Let's see something here. Let's hit play again. Do I still get the error? Condition p child data parent does not equal this is true. Huh, it works like it's supposed to. I think I'll do. I think I'll leave that till tomorrow. Okay, we're gonna leave that till tomorrow, and I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna call it a day here, and yeah. So I think I'm gonna call it a day, and I want to say, let's go to scenes. I want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for watching later when you watch this live stream later. Here, let's switch to webcam for real quick. Yeah, so I want to thank you for that. And tomorrow, what we're going to tackle is we're gonna try to figure out what this error is and how to fix it. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is tomorrow, I guess I'm gonna test all the rooms out. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it to everybody, whatever. And then after we do that, then we're gonna find a way to decide how to start adding like decision trees and stuff. I might have some sort of chart or something, or I might start creating charts like a flow chart, you know, like a room, like a room. What do they call that? Anyways, like a room layout kind of chart kind of thing. Anyways, so yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.